Noah, you know what we're doing today?
What are we doing today?
We're gonna play 4 space shooters.
I love the space shooter genre.
Oh, we're gonna play four. These came kind of out of order release date wise, only in the span of about 6 months. I figured we'd play them in arcade release order because some of them are like spiritual successors, if not sequels to other games, and it would be kind of weird because, for example, Space Invaders here actually came out last, and I was like, well, the other games we're playing are based off Space Invaders, and you know what I mean? Like it just
Came
made
out
more
last
sense.
in console order?
Yeah, and it came out in April 17th, 1985. How do I know this stuff off the top of my head? I don't know. This is Taito's first game on the console, I think. So
Who's Taito?
the guys who made Space Invaders, they're not really known for a whole lot of other games, but they do a lot of arcade cabinets and stuff. They do crane games a lot. But
Alright, let's play Space Invaders.
this is a very classic game of risk versus reward.
No risk, no reward.
Nice callback.
Oh!
Actually, funny enough with Nintendo's first arcade game, Space Fever, was literally a Space Invaders clone, and Color Space Fever was just more of that. Then they made a Sci-Fi Splitter, which was just Space Fever, but with like an extra like enemy added. It's like DLC for cabinets. But
Oh!
man, you're not good.
Yeah, I never really played much Space Invaders. I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, it's very plain. I mean, the one thing it has unique to it is the defense system. And the time limit, I guess. This heartbeat sound may be the first ever OST in a video game. Alright, hey, not doing too bad. Ooh. Oh, they're going faster. Ooh, nice. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Oh boy.
Oh, I can't hit them.
Okay, oh, you got one more. Ah, he's in the Ah! One more go, or
Yeah, sure, we can go one more.
it was so quick, yeah. Because this is gonna be a little longer video because we're gonna play all four today. This is a pretty good port, I would say. Though I know the Atari one, the Atari 2600 one's like a very a beloved classic. This is probably one of the most complex games that system can really run. Because well, holy crap, if you know how many clones were on there. I'm surprised they don't have like the classic alien with the two antennas and the mouth.
Oh!
Funny enough, this game never came out in the West. This is a Japanese exclusive NES game.
Interesting.
Actually, a lot. Nuts and Milk, Lode Runner, those have also been Japanese exclusive. They were a lot pickier back then, I think, about like what games would come over. You'd think Space Invaders wouldn't be a bad game to pick, but I think some of it also is just, well, Nintendo didn't own this game. They didn't own the license. There was 2 games they published in America that weren't their own,
Ah!
but we won't see them till for like another year. Well, timeline wise.
No! Alright.
Close enough. All right, on to the next game. What do you think of Space Invaders before we move on?
I never was big on Space Invaders personally.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's probably the oldest series that's like an actual franchise, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of cool. It'll be 50 years old in just like 3 years.
Glad I'm not
2
that
years.
old.
Now, we're gonna watch this in 50 years and then be like, "Oh, you naive soul." Our next game.
Galaxian, my beloved.
This is actually the game for now. That actually came out September 7th, I think, of 1984. Namco's first game on the thing. Destroy the aliens. We are the Galaxians. I think this is the first game to have story in some element. But yeah, Namco's first game on the system. And I figured it, you know, this was based off of Space Invaders, or like inspired. So, and it looks really close to the arcade port. Not really as well known as its younger brother, but you can already, I feel like you can already tell like the improvements, you know? Like it feels a lot nicer. It's weird to, it is honestly probably I think probably the best game to come out of the 70s.
I love Galaxian.
One of the first like multicolored sprite like games. I'm trying to think of all the technical things, but it was impressive. I like all the little stars in the background too, they look kind of cool. Oh, just one more. Yeah, nice. And you just keep going.
Oh!
I'm just still taken aback by how incredible how much of a jump it is from Space Invaders.
Yeah.
They don't do a whole lot with this series, unfortunately, but I think a lot of it's just like people don't really care for space shooters anymore.
Yeah.
During this time period, it was really like the early 80s in general. Space shooters were like all the craze. And on Atari it was huge because it was a genre it could do pretty easily. And I think, what was it that was really Star Wars was popular, and I'm guessing probably that had something to do with like, oh hey, it's kind of like I'm in the Millennium Falcon. He's going crazy with that last life of his. It's funny that Noah's shooting is taking the sound effect away from the spaceships flying. What are those check marks? Levels?
Yeah.
Okay.
No!
Oh, you got one more life. Nice.
Yeah, I got enough points for the one man.
Alrighty. Oh. Do you feel like it's getting tougher, or is it just staying the same?
Ow. Yeah, they shoot a bit more, they go a bit faster. That's Galaxian. Mm-hmm. Not my personal favorite.
But it's big.
I love Galaxian. Played it a bunch.
Big improvement over the last one. Now we're gonna go. Everyone can have a quick guess of what that is.
Space shooter game.
Top 3 space shooter game. This came out in February of 1985.
Hell yeah.
It's I mean, self-explanatory. Oh, the classic music. Oh yeah.
Galaga, baby.
There's.
I'm gonna go crazy on this.
There's a remix of this in Smash that I really want to listen to right now. It goes really hard. Oh man. Yeah, this is way more. I forgot to say with Galaxian. Galaxian actually has the world record for smallest NES game, with only being 8 kilobytes in size, if you can believe it. You hear what I said?
Yeah.
8 kilobytes in size. Do you know what the biggest Famicom or NES game? How big it is?
Nope.
It's about a megabyte, and I know that's like haha megabyte, but like, I mean, when the base hardware can only get 40 kilos of data. Kilos of data. I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Ah.
Can't you get power-ups in this one too?
Yep.
Oh, that's where that comes from. Oh, it's just such an improvement. I was like, it's. I thought it was going to be kind of more of the same, but no, not really. I played this a lot on the Game Boy Advance. Well, my mom borrowed a DS when I was very little, when we went to Colorado. A challenging stage, that part again. And it had Club Penguin on it. Club Penguin, like Elite Beat, or not Elite Beat Agents, that's a different game, but Elite Agents or whatever. I think it was Herbert's Revenge specifically, for those who might actually know what I'm talking about. But they also had a GBA game, and it was 3 Namco games: Pac-Man, Galaga, and Dig Dug.
Oh, I played this so much.
I played this a decent amount. And then I'd also play it with Pac-Man Party. This was a game you could play. This, Pac-Man, and Dig Dug are like Namco's like 3 big like arcade games that they personally cherish a lot.
Wasn't paying attention.
All good. You also, in Tekken 1, you can play Galaga before the game loads. It was actually something Namco patented, and other developers couldn't use it for a long time. I know that's like a big discussion right now with Nintendo and Pal World, but Namco was one of the first to do like a patenting a mechanic type thing. But it was really hard because you had to beat the stages. You had a time limit, and you had to hit all of the and kill all the the ships. I don't know what you call them. They kind of look like bugs. I don't know. Maybe they are bugs in some way, but yeah, you have to shoot all the bugs in the time limit, and it was very strict. And you have to do it 8 times in a row. But if you did that, you unlocked Devil Kazuya, and he was probably the best character in the game. He also looked like Star Platinum. Oh wow, you're going crazy. Well,
just had to speak.
Very fun, very fun.
Oh yeah, I love this. I love Galaga. Galaga's awesome.
We're to the point where it's just genuinely really good. They actually did make a spiritual successor to this game, if you can believe it.
I know.
Do you know what it's called?
I don't remember what it's called.
Well, it's our next game, so. Alright, our next game. This came out November of 1984. Early November. Xevious. This is the first game where we have a boss fight too. It's the first Nintendo game with a boss fight. And there's actual music and a scrolling background. You can tell they were getting more comfortable with this system. Okay, that music's a little draining, but
yeah.
But this is going to become a common thing on the NES where you have like scrolling shooters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much space, but scrolling. But yeah, that music is not very. Did it just take up too much space back then? Is that why music wasn't that like?
Music is big.
Yeah, I remember reading about how like on the Super Nintendo, which has like 100 times the storage space, it was really hard to make music for that because of the limited size, and I can't even imagine the NES in that case. It might not even be the NES, because remember, most of these games are like PC or arcade ports, and that might be more of the issue, not the NES, you know what I mean? Because when we get to, like, NES original games, they tend to have a bit more... You're doing great so far. Oh, you can drop bombs. I think they just give you...
God.
Do you want to get to the boss?
You can tell that I've not played this one as much.
Yeah. I don't really enjoy this as much as Galaga, but it's just it was the next progression, and you can definitely tell it feels a lot more advanced. Like there's more going on. Like this game probably feels a bit less. I don't know. Maybe it feels less repetitive. I don't know. But Galaga just has such a style to it, in my opinion. Like, no joke, as I'm watching Noah, part of me is like, you know, I kind of want to sit down and play Galaga after this just for fun.
Yeah.
It's just,
Galaga's awesome.
I think that's our first game that's, like, actually, like, really, like, I would genuinely go back to. My problem with, like, Donkey Kong and stuff, even though it's good, it's just, like, I think it's kind of, I don't know, like, it feels like it would be better as, like, a linear game, not an arcade game. Like, we're just like, that's why people really love Donkey Kong 94, although it's a bit, they do a bit more with that, obviously, but, like, the gameplay loop's satisfying a lot, but it's just like, I feel like I'll get bored playing the same 4 levels over, where, like, if it's something a more natural loop, like Pac-Man or something, where, like, it's just the same thing but harder, that feels more arcadey to me, and that's more fun in that regard. Some games work better as arcade games, some don't. Just kind of how it is. Boop, 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 boop. You're doing... Nope, not even gonna say it because I'm gonna jinx you. When we get into that boss fight, I wanna see that.
Oh.
The backgrounds are also pretty simple, but what are you gonna do?
No!
Ah! I can't believe you start from the very beginning.
Yeah. You have to...
No, you don't. Never mind.
You don't.
Oh, I think you will fight the boss now. Yeah, I don't think you can shoot those things, I think, but they take... Oh, maybe
Doesn't
not.
sound like it.
Oh.
Yeah, why couldn't that be the loop?
Yeah. No, it's so funny to me, like, the intro, like, Gradius has that same thing where, like, the beginning song sounds even better than, like, the one that plays during normal gameplay. It's interesting to me just, like, how simple, like, again, the backgrounds were, but, I mean, to be fair, we haven't really been seeing many backgrounds, let alone with actual scrolling with the background. Oh, new enemies. I could see someone enjoying this a lot.
Ah!
Oh, we couldn't make it.
So close.
The boss, all it does is basically just stand still and you just kind of shoot at it. It's pretty easy, but and just like literally doesn't have any animation to it. But you know what? What'd you think from the day playing all these games one back to back?
I love the space shooter genre. I love it.
We'll see a lot.
I don't.
No, you go.
The scrolling genre is not as good in my opinion, but still.
Yeah.
I think there's some really great innovations in space shooters that come up later.
Yeah. We'll see that.
Some with like first person perspective type of stuff and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Just some really good stuff we'll get to, I hope.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm excited for Twin Bee personally. And well, that's more side scrolling, but Gradius is the big one too. But yeah, we're on to play more 1984 games. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.